Hi guys, welcome to week 2 of the virtual run. For those of you guys participating in that, if you aren't participating in the virtual run, but you're still following along with the kind of training plan that we have for you guys for the summer, then good on you for keeping up with that as well. For the training plan, just like I did last week, I'm going to go through starting with groups 4 and 5, and then work my way through to group 1. Feel free to jump around if you're wanting to jump to your particular group's explanation. So once again, this is the second week of the virtual run, and I just wanted to say a couple disclaimers about this. First off, these are mileage suggestions. Remember, we're not in the season, so these are not things that we're telling you have to hit these exact mileage numbers. But the goal is just to give you guys a little bit of guidance, especially those of you who maybe aren't as familiar with Chaminade cross country and might want to see a sense of what we do during the season. But it's also a chance for you to hopefully, if you stick close to these numbers, we think that these are things that are within your guys' ability to do if you're starting out and have never run the sort of mileage that we're asking you to here. We see that you guys, most people can, if you follow along with the mileage that we're suggesting here, you'll notice that you'll start to get in shape in a pretty safe way that will also help you to become a stronger runner, so that when you enter the season, you're going to be in a much better place than maybe someone who's starting with 0 miles. So the goal here is just to kind of work you up gradually, and really anyone who does that is going to have a really good advantage going into the season. The second thing I wanted to say is remember some of the days I know coming up this week, and we've already had a couple of really warm days. Don't think, guys, if you're having a really tough day, or you're struggling out in the heat, or you forgot to start running early and you're running at 1 o'clock in the afternoon, remember, listen to your body. Listen to the fact that your body might say, oh, you're not hydrated enough and you need to back off that day. These mileages, once again, are suggestions, but the most important thing is to be conscious of your safety and conscious of your health and well-being. So once again, just be smart about it, and everything else will fall in place after that. So let's talk about group 4 and 5. For group 4 and 5 this week, just a couple reminders again about the terms. Remember, LSD is long, slow distance, and AE is aerobic. Long, slow distance here, we want you to start thinking about being a little bit relaxed on the pace. It's not the goal with the long, slow distance day, especially as we get into a little bit longer distances, is going to be relaxing the pace, but focusing more on going long mileage. And that's really something that, as you get into the cross-country season, is going to help you to stretch your ability to run farther, faster. But for right now, we're just trying to build up this base of mileage. AE, remember, that's an aerobic run. That is a little bit of a faster pace. And so with that, I do want you to be thinking of trying to maybe push yourself a little bit. It's not a workout. It's not something that is that's intended to really get your heart rate up, but it should feel a little bit less comfortable than a long, slow distance day. Remember, for the easy runs, that is a really relaxed pace. It's not walking or anything like that, but it is a relaxed pace. And finally, the last thing I want to talk about, especially for groups 4 and 5, is the workout. This is one of the more important parts of the week. If you're trying to think of a day that you should really try and include, and I encourage this for all the groups, is the workout day. And I have a warm-up and a cool-down on here. And the reason for that is, even though it's hot outside, and even though you maybe haven't warmed up for things like this in the past, it's really important just to get your heart rate up a little bit and to get your body somewhat acclimated to the harder style workouts that we're going to have you do. And you'll actually feel better. It may seem counterintuitive, but you're actually going to feel better in the run if you run a little bit longer mileage and have a little bit longer mileage, and yet you also have some faster pace. So you're going to feel better if you get this warm up in and the cool down in after. So for everyone in groups 4 and 5, you have 2 1-mile repeats. And so you're going to warm up for a little bit, half mile, run hard for a mile, then you're going to jog lightly for 4 minutes, then run hard for another mile, and then cool down for about another half mile. So this is just a chance for you to get a little sense of speed here. And then remember, you have 2 off days this week. You can decide which days you want to take them, but I have them scheduled here Thursday and Sunday, or you can do some cross training. For groups 4 and 5, the mileage is pretty much staying the same. The goal is to, once again, continue working on your base of mileage. And so really for groups 2, 3, 4, and 5, most of you guys are kind of in the introductory stage of your mileage, and we really just want you to start building that up slowly while getting you guys a little bit of extra speed and distance. But groups 2 and 3, you do have 2 workouts this week again. We suggest you kind of break them up on Wednesday or Saturday, or maybe Tuesday and Friday. You can rotate these around kind of based on your schedule. But the Wednesday workout is a 1 mile warm-up. The workout is 5 by 2 minutes on and 1 minute off. What that means, guys, is you're going to run hard for 2 minutes and run lightly for 1 minute. And what you're going to find is don't go out too fast on that first one. You want to be a little bit conservative, because by the 5th repeat of doing 2 minutes of hard and 1 minute off, you're going to feel a little bit more tired than you would have expected. Now it's not super long, but do just be conscious of being a little bit conservative on that first one. For the second workout of the week on Saturday, there's a 1 mile warm up again, a 2 mile tempo run. What a tempo run is, it's a chance to run at a faster pace and also at a little bit more consistent mileage. And so in other words, you're not going to have a pause in the middle of a tempo run. And the goal is to try and stay at a consistent pace that whole time. Now, I know for those of you guys who did the time trial on Saturday, you guys are kind of familiar with what a fast pace might be. This is a little bit more relaxed than what you might consider doing in a race or in a time trial. So the tempo run is more a pace that you can hold that's faster than aerobic, and it's faster than the long, slow distance pace for sure, but it's a little bit slower than what you might do in a race. So that's for the workout on Saturday. Finally, for group 1, you guys have a little bit higher mileage this week, 34. Once again, we're still trying to work on your base. But really the only difference between the workouts for group 1 and groups 2 and 3 are going to be the number of miles that you warm up and cool down. Once again, this is just because your volume that you have come into the summer with is your volume running, is a little bit higher than groups 2, 3, 4, and 5. So you can handle a little bit more mileage. But once again, if you're feeling like you're just a little bit drained that day, then maybe take a little bit of a lighter or less warm up and less cool down on this. So you can relax your mileage a little bit if you're starting to feel a little bit sore. The workout, again, though, is 5 by 2 minutes on, 1 minute off. And same thing with the tempo run. It's just a 2 mile tempo run, but longer warm up and cool down on Saturday. With any of these guys, remember the mileage total. This is all kind of dependent on if you hit these mileage goals each day. And what I would suggest is either if you're using this digital copy here, or if you have printed off a copy, cross off when you do this. If you complete one of these as they're shown here, or you can go back in and create a copy of this and modify it based on what you actually do. It's really important to start keeping track of what things you accomplished throughout the summer, not only so you can communicate it to us, but also so you can start to see your progress. Give it a couple weeks. I know it's going to be a little bit painful at first, but you will start to see some of your progress throughout the summer. If you have any questions, guys, please let me know. I've seen a few of you guys have posted your times, and a couple others have sent me your times from the time trial. Thanks a lot for doing that, and good work to all of you who've done that. If you didn't get a chance to do the time trial and you still want to do that, you can incorporate that somewhere else into this week. Or if you still wanted to wait some more time, you can incorporate it into a later week. I just had it early in this summer just to give you guys all a ballpark of where you stand right now. But you can always throw that in later on. Once again, feel free to shoot me an email, or if you have any questions, let me know. Hope you guys are doing well. Have a good rest of the week.